right, we're back here with another driver spotlight. I actually have a driver here out of Fort Myers, Florida, by the name of Jeffrey Ledbetter. He actually has been with DeliverThat since 2020, August of 2020 to be exact. He has taken over 1,300 deliveries, totaling up to be over $415,000 worth of food taken. Welcome, Jeffrey, to the platform.
Hey, how you doing?
Not a problem. How is it weather there in Florida? I'm gonna ask.
It's always sunny in Florida. It's about probably 85 and
Oh
sunny.
man, I'm jealous. So happen we have bad weather today, or this week I should say, in Ohio, but it's like in the 50s. Last week we got in the 70s, and then the next day it was like helling, really bad. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, here it's sun every day,
Oh, I'm
sunny
jelly.
and beautiful.
Are you from that area then, Fort Myers?
No, from Philadelphia originally, but
Oh, okay.
my wife and I have lived south for over 20 years.
Oh,
Not
awesome.
necessarily in Florida, but in the Mid-Atlantic, Virginia, North Carolina area.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm getting into my first question to ask you about the gig economy here. How did you even get started?
So because of COVID, I think a lot of people's lives were kind of tossed around, and mine was no different. I was um, a manager chefing in a corporate setting, and I was laid off because the whole building shut down, and this was back in 2019. And so I started gigging it out with some of the other um, driver apps,
Okay.
and I met a driver while I was picking up at Chick-fil-A. We were just, kind of talking and stuff, and we were waiting, and he said, "Deliver that." And I kind of put it back in my memory and jotted it down, and then I reached out, and you guys got right back to me, and then I was onboarded, and you know,
Been riding ever since.
1,400 orders later, and 400 and some $1,000 in food served, and I'm still going strong.
Still going strong. Wow, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you telling me, how you got started in this gig world here. Um, my next question I'm going to ask you here is how would you compare Deliver That to other platforms since you had that experience?
Well, I mean, not to be blunt, but deliver that's the best. Um, um, Customer service and the driver team is second to none. You speak to a live person, a live agent, and pretty much if you're in a jam, which happens pretty frequently, um, they're there on the spot, ready to go. Some of the other companies use Instagram to communicate, which is really not very user friendly. Some are text messages. It takes a while for them to get to you, et cetera, et cetera. So from the driver standpoint, from the communication standpoint, Deliver That is the best. Secondly, Deliver That, the pay per hour, pay per delivery is second to none. So if you add up your commission plus tip, um, Deliver That's awesome also. And just their philosophy, Deliver That philosophy, for drivers, by drivers. You guys understand what we go through, and you're very helpful and understand. Let's just say understanding when things don't always go as planned. Let's just say. So that's what I think.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. So I would say all everything you just said is why you have stuck with Deliver That so long, right?
That's right.
So let me ask you this because you did get onboarded during the COVID season. Were you doing a ride along or did you get onboarded online?
No, I didn't do a ride along.
Okay.
I just did online, and then they
Okay.
kind of set me off. But like I said, with the communication back and forth on the driver platform, I was it was very helpful, and I could, I remember the first day I must have called like 5 or 10 times, every little move, every little thing, and it's like, how come the app doesn't work, or I'm pushing the button and I can't get the map to come up, or and they were right there with me,
Aw.
by my side the whole time. Where do I go? How do I set it up? And I mean, of course, in the app and everything, that they kind of show you how they want it set up. But
Uh-huh.
the driver team again was there right by my side the whole time.
And from that experience there, because I know I only been here 2 years and I've seen the growth that we have, would you say we still maintain that courtesy of drivers and making sure and helping them along the way?
Hmm.
Awesome.
And helping along the way, and then also the routing team. I want to give a shout out to the routing team because it seemed like they work 24 hours a day, nonstop. So for instance, if you take multiple orders, maybe for lunch, the routing team will get back to you and tell you if that's a good route or a bad route, and they might even be able to adjust things a little bit for you. All you have to do is communicate and say, hey, can we do this or can't we? And they'll get right back to you, and they'll tell you straight up if you can't do it, or they'll tell you, hey, let's do it this way. And then they'll send the text back. Just follow their directions, and everything will go pretty smooth.
So I'm gonna move on to my next question here to ask you. Trying to transition outside of being the gig driver, Jeffrey. I want to ask some questions outside of that. My first question to you: what was your first job ever that you had that you can remember?
I was always in the restaurant industry, so I was actually a
Oh,
dishwasher
okay.
for a lot through high school.
That was
I
actually
did some catering, like chef de partie catering work.
okay.
So we would I would get into work, and the executive chef, would have a list of little prep items for these caterings, and we'd put it all together. We'd load up the trucks, and then I would go out on site and actually unload all the trucks and the cooking equipment and stuff. And then we go from there. So it all kind of I've been in food service in some capacity my pretty much my whole life.
Oh wow, that's very interesting. So coming to do being as a driver, this was like a no brainer to you. It was just basically knowing how to work the app.
Work the app, and I mean there's some customer service involved. You have to be polite and
Yeah.
courteous and communicative. Sometimes if there's a number on there to call, I'll call it. Or if there's an issue, like I said before, just call the driver team. They'll walk you through it. They'll get you out of a jam if you're in one, and just don't wait. If there's a problem or anything, or you just want to say hello, just call the driver team, and they'll help you get out of that, whatever it is. Just don't wait. If I see if I'm doing a double, let's say, and I see that I'm running because of traffic just a little bit behind, I'll call them ahead and say, hey, I'm running a little behind. Is that okay? You know, and they'll give me peace of mind and say, we're good, we're all set. Or they'll say, maybe I need to push it off to another driver, just if it gets really bad based off of traffic or whatever. Maybe there's an accident or whatever it is. Don't rush, drive normal, everything will be fine. Be safe out there.
That is our line because we definitely want you guys to be safe out there. Well, my next question to you here is what is the most daring thing you ever done?
What's the most daring thing I've ever done? Oh no.
Don't sound like you're a
When I
daredevil
was
here.
younger, I used to ski a lot,
Oh, wow.
and I mean, I've jumped off of 20-foot, 30-foot cliffs before.
Oh, that is a daredevil.
That's put your heart in your hands, kind of jump off of a cliff type stuff.
Oh my gosh. What were you on skis while you did this?
Hmm.
Whew. Hats off to you, Jeff. Well, do you have a guilty pleasure at all?
Food,
Food.
all kind of. I see food and I eat food.
Down there, down south, you're getting that fresh seafood too.
Yep. Hmm.
I actually visited one of my best friends down there in Florida, and we actually went to a restaurant where they actually go out and fish for you and bring it back to you. Oh, it was the best fish ever.
Yep. Yep. I mean, it's all over the place.
Man. So, are you kind of a podcast person, or would you say you listen to more of music?
Both,
Both.
and I do been doing some books on tape too,
Oh,
on YouTube. Just type in your author,
okay. Okay.
and there's a lot of free books on tape on YouTube.
Got you. I'll
But
go
then,
listen
of
to those
course, music. If
audios.
you want a good pick me up, or a song pops in your head, it's always good to put a couple good tunes on.
So, Jeff, do you have like a favorite podcast that you do listen to, like on a daily?
Um, Conan, Conan needs a friend.
Conan needs a friend.
Yeah,
Conan needs
it's
a
the
friend. Why does that
best.
sound
He is
familiar?
so funny.
Conan needs a
So if
friend.
you
I'm gonna have to
haven't
check it
listened to
out.
Conan Needs a Friend, once you listen to it, you won't it won't stop. It's the
I'm gonna
best
have to write that
podcast out
down.
there.
Well, thanks for sharing, because I'm gonna check it out. Then I'm gonna have to message you and let you know how I
Oh
feel
my
about
God,
it.
he's so funny, so funny.
Well, with on that same topic here, do you have a favorite genre of music?
I'm a Generation Xer. If you couldn't notice, I'm a little gray in the hair, so I'm a '90s guy. So I like um, alternative
Okay.
alternative rock type music.
Sweet.
So I mean, I like all kinds of music. Like I don't mind, Justin Bieber or The Weeknd, or I don't mind. I feel like all all genres. My wife and I watch The Voice right
Okay.
now. Hold on, I think that's a food delivery.
Oh
Michael,
gosh.
hold on.
You're fine.
Another food delivery. Hold on. Not deliver that. Those are dogs.
What kind of dog you have?
We have a shepherd mix.
Okay.
We have a pit bull,
That's my baby.
and what's JoJo? Multi-poo.
Okay. I'm a pit bull fan. Fanatic, I should say. Not a
Yeah.
fan. Fanatic.
She's a love bug. She's a love bug.
Aw.
So, anyways, why don't you start off with that last question, and we'll.
Yeah, you were speaking to me and let me know about your views on music and how you feel about music.
So yeah, so I'm an alternative rock, like Pearl Jam,
Okay.
Foo Fighters. I mean, they're still popular, right?
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili
I don't
Peppers,
listen to them too.
Train. Um, but like I said, we watch The Voice a
Uh-huh.
lot, and so we love all genres.
Okay, awesome. Well, you did mention a little bit where you were from. You mentioned that you were actually originally from Philadelphia, right?
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. What made you go ahead and leave your hometown and just explore,
I graduated from college and we went
Okay.
south. I got a job in Virginia,
Okay,
and
okay.
so central, like the middle part of Virginia, very southern. And we've been south. My kids were born in North Carolina, so Virginia, North Carolina, that area for about 20 years.
Okay.
And then my parents lived here in Florida, and they're getting older, so we decided to make the move down to be closer to them when the
Okay.
kind of the all the stars kind of aligned.
Well, that's awesome. Now, I know I see Ledbetter on our fleet of drivers a lot. Do you have other family members that also drive with us?
Well, my wife is on there, and my son was on there for a little bit,
Okay.
and my daughter might have been on there for a little bit also.
Okay.
So it might be the Ledbetter clan.
Got you. Well, Jeff, that is most of my questions here. We do just ask those questions, and typically after this, we do ask a bonus question. But so I do have a bonus question for you. A few years, you started off in the gig economy when we were, what did I say? We were in 2020 in a pandemic, I should say. With that being said, it has been a huge influx of drivers in the gig economy. To you, what is the biggest benefit of being a driver?
The flexibility is a number one. We're 1099ers, so we kind of work for ourselves. So we're our own boss. And so just a simple the flexibility. Like right now, I'm sitting here talking with you all. It's 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I had a little bit of a slot where I had some time and I can come home for lunch, or, if there's something I got to do, I just don't either pick up the app or communicate one thing or another to some of my other dispatchers. And so flexibility, the pay is really good if you stick with it, and you really think about it, and you're a professional. You can make a living. You really can make a living at this, and it's no joke. You just have to stick with it. Just stick with it, and pick up opportunities, meet people, talk with people, and don't you know make sure your contacts, you are good with them. Don't burn any bridges down with different apps or different companies. Keep them all. Do your best
Yep.
at all times.
I would totally, totally, totally agree with you. I think when I first started here, I was in dispatch, and I believe they told me that was maybe 2 or 3 drivers that were on our platform, but this was the gig economy was their thing. That's how they made their living, and they were making over 6 figures just doing gig work, and it just blew my mind. So anybody out there watching, listen to Jeff. Just stick with it. If it's just something you are interested in doing, you can make good money. It's just how
So
to
I just
navigate.
finished my taxes from 2022, and I
Hmm.
can be part of that group of over 6 figures.
Wow.
So you're talking to
I'm
one of them.
I, I,
But
I,
it's
I'm
it's
talking
hard
to one.
work. It's just, you have to just grind it out, and find your little niche, and just keep going. Don't give up.
Wow, that's awesome. I hope you did inspire somebody by just sharing that part of your story there, and I hope Ben doesn't clip it out. Well, I'm gonna move forward to our Father's Day edition questions here. So I'm gonna just roll into it and ask you the first question. Would you rather ride a bike, ride a horse, or drive a car?
Hmm. I would probably rather ride a bike, because there's some exercise involved, and there's some fresh air, and you can get outside and you know smell the roses, and be with nature and
Got
relax.
you. Got you. Well, let me ask you this. As a father, what is the best gift you have been given for Father's Day?
The love of my children, just having them there with me. Um, there's nothing like being a father of you know people that you raise, you know, and that's the gift that keeps on giving.
You got that right. I couldn't wait to be a mom just so I can get the little, people will say corny little drawings or little paintings that you put on. I couldn't wait. I still have stuff up now and they haven't brung none home. My son is 14, just turned 14, and my daughter's 12. So,
Right, right.
so when you were a teenager, which family member did you go to for advice?
Mm, I don't know. I don't know if I went to either of my parents for advice. My parents were always working,
Got you.
so I think I was out there, and I did it all on my own.
Just winged
Now,
it,
now,
trial and
now
error.
we talk a lot and everything, but I think back then when I was a kid, they were busy, and um, maybe some teachers that I had at school for advice, and probably throughout life, it's trial and error with a
Yep.
lot of it. Even if you get the advice from anyone, you're going to do your own thing anyways. So I think it's like you just kind of bumble along, and you might make some mistakes along the way, and you'll be better for it.
Yep. I can agree. So my question to you is, what is your favorite family vacation?
The beach.
The beach.
That's why we moved down here, because we're not too far from the beach right now.
Well, how is it a vacation if you're always there?
That's ask a Floridian. Maybe every day is a vacation.
I got Nate back here shaking that head, saying yes, that's true.
It's sunny. When it actually rains here, it's like a snow day. It truly is. When it's like that drizzly, like dark clouds,
Uh huh.
slight chill in the air. That's we celebrate because that doesn't happen very often.
Wow. Well, I really, really, really enjoyed talking to you today. I enjoyed your actual company, your smile, everything, and just being transparent with us on how you feel about DeliverThat's platform, but also just being transparent of you being a gig economist and how you actually live this life, and it is something that someone can do as a full-time thing and be able to take care of their family. So thank you, Jeff.
I want to thank you guys for being here and doing these driver spotlights and the for drivers, by drivers type of an attitude. This is a whole nother picture of how who DeliverThat is. The fact that you guys take the time to learn and meet your drivers.
Oh,
So thank
awesome.
you.
Oh, no problem. I really appreciate you being here. If there's nothing else, Driver Nation, until we meet again, so long.